Afternoon all, welcome back to another episode of Kev's Wild Kitchen. Today I'm going to be dishing up a spit roasted beef with a root vegetable gratin. I'm going to make the spit up. I've collected some hawthorn sticks for that, branches, so I'm going to be making that first, then I'll get the fire going, get the beef on, and then we'll crack on with the gratin, so stay tuned. Get this fire lit. So today I'm going to use some char cloth. I've also got some jute twine. So we've got an ember there. Let's go on with that first stage. A bit more kindling on there. Get this fire going. Now, our ingredients for today. We've got our joint of beef, which I'm going to go and put on the spit, and then we're going to spit roast that. Nice medium rare, hopefully. Then for our root veg gratin. So what I'm going to be doing is peeling and slicing the sweet potato, parsnip, celeriac and beetroot. We're going to cook that in a cream, mustard, cheese sauce. And then what I'm going to try is a onion and potato crunch on top, to give us a little bit of texture to that. Hopefully that will go very nice with the beef. And wish me luck. What I'm going to be doing, so now it's time to start peeling. This is the pan I'm going to use for the gratin. So what I'm going to do is peel, slice, layer, and then we'll add the cream and the mustard to get our gratin going. So that's all our veg peeled, our sweet potato, parsnip, celeriac and beetroot for our gratin. These are going to form our layers, so now I need to slice it all, get it done, and then join me again for the build. Started off with our sliced beetroot, then we're going to now layer it. So what we need to add to this is a little bit of garlic, a little bit of salt, obviously the smoked salt, a little bit of pepper, okay, a touch of rosemary, just a couple of sprigs. Okay, now let's go in with our celeriac. And again, we're just going to layer this vegetable at a time, and then we'll re-layer it again. So again, a little bit more garlic, just a little bit of rosemary, just a tiny bit of seasoning, just so every layer's got a touch of flavour to it. Okay, then along with our parsnip. Actually, let's go sweet potato now. Keep them layers, the colour difference. So what I'll do, I'll get this layered. It'll be parsnip after this, and then we'll add the cream and all our vegetables sliced up, layered up, seasoned. So now what we're going to do is add like a cream sauce. So obviously all I'm going to do just initially is just pour a little bit of cream in the bowl. Okay, and a couple of teaspoons of Dijon mustard. I want quite a lot of flavour into this, maybe 2.5, say. Okay, a little bit of pepper. Now I'm going to go easy on the salt because I you know, we've put a lot in as we've been layering. I don't want to make it too salty, so that'll be something I'll test, you know, I'll taste later on before I put the crunch on it. So a bit of a mustard sauce. It's going to be quite strong. And what I'm going to do now is make a mess. The rest of the cream is going to go over. Okay, we want this to come a fair way up the side. Now we will get a little bit of mixture from the beetroot. I'm going to add the mustard sauce as well into it. Get that to run into all the gaps. And obviously the rest of the cream. I want this to be nice and creamy, obviously. Now that should do us. So what I'm also going to do though is also put some cheese. Now Parmesan is best. I've got last week's Gran Padano that I bought, used for last week's video. The idea if I use the grater the right way. I'm just adding a little bit of this now for now, just to get a little essence of taste. But when we do the topping later on, that will add more cheese to that. So the initial sort of slice we get will be cheesy, crunchy, creamy. All good. Now ready. I'm going to put down the edge just to start warming through. Get that cream sort of bubbling away, cooking them vegetables down, and then we'll take it off and we'll do the crunchy top. All good. So let's get our beef ready. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of oil. Okay, get that rubbed all over. Okay, all over this. I want this to be quite, you know, quite seasoned, really well seasoned. Okay, squeeze the fingers. Okay, lovely bit of salt. Okay, all over the top, sides. See, it can go on the board. Get that rubbed all over, turn the beef over, pick up all that extra seasoning. We'll get that on the spit and then we'll get it on the fire. Our beef, this is the hawthorn branch we did earlier on. So I don't know whether you could see, we sharpened one end to go through the beef, okay, and then we squared off the other end to go into the other side of the spit. Okay, so now let's get this through the center of the meat, obviously the sharp end. Okay, there we go. We'll get that into the middle, and there we have it, our beef ready for the spit. So our beef on the spit. So as you can see, now we've got our squared edge into our notch cut. Okay, now if we need to, then we can now position the meat so that it's ready to go, and then when we need to, we could spin the beef round, stick it into whichever notch to run. We're now ready for our topping. What we're going to be doing is grating the potatoes and the onion. Okay, so roughly into sort of strands. Okay, and then what we're going to do is squeeze the juice out. Okay, ready for, get it as dry as we can to add to the top of our gratin to give us our crunchy top. That's our grated potato and onion. Now what we're going to do, I've put it in a new tea towel, so the wife will hate me. Okay, and what we're going to do is do this, and we're going to squeeze the juice out as much as we can to make it as dry as possible. to give us our almost like a rosti but not fried. Just a, you know, a nice crunchy top. Bit of potato, onion, a little bit of cheese, salt, pepper. Surprised how much juice you get out of it. Dry as we can get it. So what we should be left with is this. Okay, so a nice dry flake. So we'll sprinkle that over our gratin with salt and pepper, so a bit of cheese. Lovely. Here's our gratin. It's picked up a lovely pink colour from the beetroot. I kind of had a feeling it would. I say I've never done this before, but like my wife says, if Bridget Jones is allowed blue soup, we're allowed pink gratin. So this is off. Now what we're going to do is take the onion and potato. Okay, and we're going to sprinkle that all over the top. Get it as sort of spread out as you can. Say it's only like a crunch we want. So just to sort of almost want it to catch. I'm going to put quite a few coals on top to get this as brown as I can. Now to that we're also going to add some more cheese, just again to give us a little bit of colour. A good old sprinkling of salt. I did taste it, it does taste delicious, but I think it just needs a little touch more, and a nice sprinkle of pepper. I always sort of think with like things like with vegetables, with the earthiness, I think you need as much sort of flavour as you can to pump in. So now what I'm going to do is put the lid back on this, put the coals on top, let that bake away, and then we should be good in about 20 minutes. Back on the coals. What I'm going to do now is grab a load of embers, get them on top, get some of that heat going down into the meat, and then it should give it a nice bit of colour. Okay, so our beef is done, ready to serve. So there we go. So let's get that in and get it resting. So let's see how we're getting on. Let's see if we're ready to serve. Oh, that is nice. I'm happy with that. So let's keep that warm. And then okay, so beef rested. What I did is did a beef gravy as well. The gratin actually come out really good, crisp on top. I'm happy with that. So let's serve a dish up and then we'll see how it looks. So first things first, let's see how the beef is. Now I'm going to cut it right in the middle just to sort of see. I'm hoping for a medium rare. I'm happy with that. That's just got enough. That's enough pink there. I am very happy with that. So I'm going to cut a nice thick. Oh, it smells amazing. So nice thick cut. Okay. Now let's get a nice wedge of this gratin. I say the colour probably isn't to everyone's taste. I must admit I have tasted the sauce and it is great. It really is. And then just because I am going to put a little bit of gravy on there. Now, something I haven't done on this, I'm going to have a little taste. So I've got a little opener. I'm going to have a taste of the beef first. That's very tender, that is lovely. Oh, that's great. Interested to see how the beetroot, obviously that's what's giving it the pink taste.
Honestly, that's great. Very creamy. I must admit, I love the crunchy top. Crunchy top. I have put a lot of pepper on the top, and that strangely gives it that bite. But it's creamy. Yeah, the potato and the onion on the top is great with the pepper. And the vegetables, they're really soft. Very, very happy with that. So I hope you like it. I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but I truthfully, very, very tasty. So guys, thanks very much for joining me again. Must admit, that was a hard cook. There was a lot of rain today, so it was a bit interrupted. The fire was interrupted quite a lot. Managed to keep it going. Hope you enjoyed the recipe. Something I made up as I went along, really. The gratin was obviously pink for the beetroot. It tasted great, honestly. So it is something that you're interested in doing, please do it. If you can get over the colour, it was great. The topping was superb. Beef, great as ever. Bit of gravy added a lot of taste to it. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. I've got some good stuff coming up, hopefully. And I'll see you next time. Take care.